Today I'm here with Sam. She's a CEO of Habitto, a Series A digital bank that provides investment advisory and really helps people save, invest, and protect their money in Japan. Samantha co-founded Habitto out of Japan, out of Tokyo, and so we're here with her to really talk through the work that we've done together for this well-being coaching pilot. So Sam, I'll start off with a few questions. Let's start for the first one. What challenge, Sam, were you trying to solve when you bought Money Mojo in to help Habitto?
Well, Sana, as you know, financial advice is a poorly understood value proposition generally. Most people don't know what advice is for. People don't talk to advisors, and when they did speak to advisors in the past, generally they had a poor experience. They were trying to be sold products that they didn't understand and didn't want. So what we were trying to do when we brought Money Mojo in was to try and design a new way into explaining what advice is about and essentially lower the emotional barrier that people feel when they speak to advisors.
That's a tough hurdle, right? I think especially when someone's new to advice, really just making them comfortable with it is a big gap. So that makes a lot of sense. And I guess for those that don't fully understand like the differences, the cultural differences, not only between the East and the West, but also with Japan itself, which is huge. Could you talk through like what are some of those cultural differences that make Japan unique when designing financial services in the market?
Yeah, certainly. The first thing that comes to mind is that Japan is incredibly relationship driven. You see this not just in financial services, but in every service interaction. Sometimes people, walk into department stores and you have people literally standing at the entrance of the department store bowing to you for no other particular reason than making you feel protected, serviced, looked after. So there's a lot of, I'll say, relational capital that is built through personal interaction. And when it comes to money, this is even more true, where more than 95% of all products that carry an element of risk or have multiple configurable options, such as most life insurance products, they're actually sold through some form of human intermediation. That's the lion's shares of all the sales. So relationship-driven culture, plus obviously when it comes to money, trust is really earned very slowly and over time.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I think even from some of the stats that you shared, right, 60% of accounts remain dormant. If anything, or there's a lot to it that means that people really rely on other people to buy, and there's that consensus-driven culture, which again, the East has, but I do feel like Japan, it is that much more important. And so, Sam, obviously we worked together for just, around a 6-month period, but I'd love to, learn from you. What surprised you most about the program results? And actually, maybe even before that, now that I'm thinking through it, could you talk to people a little bit on how we work together? Like, what did that engagement look like?
Yeah, so the way I'm thinking about you, Sanam, and generally the Money Mojo relationship is that we've developed what I call a thought partnership around this value proposition of behavioral coaching. And so a thought partnership is relying not just on operational prowess and building and designing a program, but to make it culturally relevant, understand nuances, helping our advisors connect and make the program, their own, put their own footprint. And so I think these were some of the things that I think you did particularly well. Obviously, the coaching expertise and your background in finance helped tremendously, but the fact that you worked hand in hand with our team to customize it and to make it culturally relevant, I think that was really very, very important to us.
And what surprised you most about the pilot program results, would you say?
I think the most surprising aspect was how customers opened up at the very beginning of the program. And the insight here is actually people want to talk about their money, they just don't know how. And so finding a safe space where they can do that without fear of being sold something, without fear of judgment, without feeling patronized or without being lectured about what they don't know about money. So the environment was, very friendly, empathetic to a customer group that really wants to improve the financial situations, but they need to come up the learning curve and to do so ethically and respectfully. So that aspect, I think, was very important, very unique in the way I built the program. We expected higher engagement on the app. We certainly saw 3 times higher engagement for the people that participated in the program than the comparable group. Significant boost in advisor engagement, again, in the sort of 3x. And most importantly, all of the clients rated the advisor experience essentially 4.9 over 5. So an incredibly high level of endorsement post program.
That's been, I think, the most incredible piece. And like you said, we have at Habitto really good, well-qualified, great advisors that have, want to put their footprint and have these great conversations with their clients, right? And so for the fact that they were able to see the advisor in that light and build this communication even before going into products and things is actually showing people how you build beyond product and for clients, right? So I really love what you said. And so I'd say, what would you say to another fintech or financial institution even that is thinking about solving for a similar challenge in trust and engagement?
I guess from a personal experience, having worked with many consumers across the world when it comes to money, one thing that brings people together the world over is that money actually isn't a rational topic. It's a highly emotional subject. And so building trust is a fundamental tenet to building financial businesses that actually are sustainable and there to last. So building trust takes time, takes dedication. It requires the elimination of conflict of interests. It requires making decisions that are good for the customers, even when sometimes they're not good for the company. And so I would say these are some of the ethical questions more than product or tech questions that anyone building financial products for trust, with trust, need to take into account.
Absolutely. And how do you see, from your personal lens of being in the industry for a very long time, with a lot of expertise, how do you see this well-being led coaching evolving as that business driver for Habitto? And where do you see Habitto go next? Or where do you want Habitto to go next?
There's certainly, one of the challenges of running a coaching program that is behavioral focused is trying to find the right balance between technical or tech-led and asynchronous experiences versus human and synchronous experience. And I think there's certainly more work that we can do on that front going forward. But this pilot certainly highlighted the importance of both. So I certainly expect in the future to rely more strongly on aspects of technology. AI comes to mind, but it's certainly not the only aspect that comes to mind, to make the engagement, the advisor role certainly more operationally scalable. And then handpick or surgically pick those very critical experience moments where human interaction is essential, and I would say cannot be really substituted at this point with anything else other than watching and talking to the other person.
Absolutely. No, I think that's you've got to combine both for the maximum value, right? And I think that's the kind of approach we all need to be thinking about for the industry to expand that, users' lifetime value, retain them, and use trust as that differentiating factor, especially in Japan where, it is very ecosystem driven. So I love that. And I'd say finally, Sam, just to, be mindful of your time, what are the 3 things you think Money Mojo, which is, this global financial well-being consultancy that I'm building, what are the 3 things Money Mojo did well to solve for this challenge?
So as I said, I I think of you as a thought partner, not somebody that comes at the table with a packaged solution, structured and flexible. You certainly distinguished yourself as a consultant, not only with coaching expertise and your know-how in finance, which is very, very important from a content perspective, but also how constructively and collaboratively you worked with my advisor team, the broader Habitto team, to, I would say, adjust, refine the program in a way that was culturally relevant and customer appropriate for our particular customer type.
Brilliant. And hopefully we do more of that. And yeah, we keep growing that way as well. So thank you, Sam, for this great engagement, just to show people, and also just to show people the value this can bring to the end user, which is the main benefit, right? Yeah.
It was great working with you, Sanam. I really appreciate it. And I trust we'll do that again. Thank you.